Hey Nate, what's up? What's up? What you talk about? You know I like you, right? I know you don't like me. Not when your baby mama named Big Mama. No ma'am, no ma'am. It ain't like that. Oh, it's like that to me. And the bitch from Southeast passed. All my life, my be waiting for There was this time in Oakland when I almost got myself killed, and if it wasn't for my dear friend Doug, I probably wouldn't be here to tell the story. Doug was a dude I met through Lowell. He was one of these people you didn't have to worry about. If he liked you, he died for you. The other thing about Doug was his size. He was big, not fat, but huge and strong as a bull. Ain't no one gonna mess with you if he was your partner. Well, I had this gal I was going with up in Oakland. Her name was Maybelle, and she was married. Her old man was called Fox, and he was a notorious dude. One of these people who would cut you if he got mad. I'm not. Pause. So anyway, things that I've learned in life. I'm not telling you I ain't never messed with somebody that was unavailable. What I am telling you is that if I knew the woman and I knew she could kick some ass, I wasn't going. Hey Nate, what's up? What's up? What you talk about? You know I like you, right? I know you don't like me. Not when your baby mama named Big Mama. No ma'am, no ma'am. It ain't like that. It ain't like that. Oh, it's like that to me. And the bitch from Southeast pass. And she be stripping on the weekends pass. Be gone. Be gone. I'm not fighting over you. We don't even know each other like that. And Ray Charles don't have no voice in the back of his head saying maybe you shouldn't sleep with that man's wife, because maybe he may find you and chop you up. He just told me. Ray Charles is the one that told me. Her old man was called Fox, and he was a notorious dude. One of these people who would cut you if he got mad. Why would you even mess with girl? On this particular day, Maybelle and I go to Doug's girlfriend's house. We've just finished hunching, and we're both bucky naked when we hear a knock at the door. We look out the window, and our hearts nearly stop beating. That's not, I don't, I understand passion, but I ain't finna die for it. Oh, shiz, Maybelle says. It's Fox. Doug goes to the door. Like I said, he's big, but Fox is one of these mean acting cats. He's a bad mother hunchy. Have you seen my old lady? Fox asks. No, Doug answers, guarding the door. Why would you think she'd be here? In the meantime, while this little conversation is going on, Maybelle and I are in the bed, and the bedroom is mighty close to the front door. If Fox turns a certain way, he can practically see us. Why this bitch didn't do the belly crawl onto the floor underneath the bed? Maybelle and I get so close that you don't see no two heads or no two bodies, just one. We're sure enough tight-knit. Meanwhile, Fox is still pressing. Sure you ain't seen my woman? Ain't seen her. Well, they told me on the street that Maybelle had come up here. Fox knows that Maybelle and Doug are friends, but he also knows they ain't lovers. Doug's the type of guy who knows lots of people, and all the men understand that Doug can be trusted. If he takes out your wife and if he likes you, you don't have to worry about him getting no vagina from her. If he's your friend, then your wife can't do shiz for him. So Doug keeps repeating, no, she ain't here. And Fox keeps asking, "You sure now? You absolutely sure?" Finally, Doug lets him have it. "Look, didn't I tell you, goddammit, she ain't here. You know me. If I tell you she ain't here, she ain't here." "Okay, man, I'm sorry. Didn't mean no harm." And with that, Fox splits. That's it. You talk about two scared souls. You talk about relief. Me and Maybelle were so shook we were still shaking even after Fox was long gone. "I was scared too," Doug said afterward. "But I sure as hell wasn't going to let him through." That's the kind of friend Doug was. And the man's my partner to this day. Yeah. Yeah, Don't put me in no compromising position. You didn't put me in the middle of this bullshit. And I don't like it. We went back to LA from time to time, and I had a chance to do a little more recording. This was in 1950 and 1951. I remember a couple of days with a band which included some of the heaviest players around then. Jack McVeigh, Marshall Royal, Maurice Simon, musicians with very big reputations. To me, being with these cats on a record date was a major event. I wrote the charts for those sessions, and I also wrote a lot of the tunes, but something else happened around this time which was even more important. I started changing my style. Now, I've been telling you all this time how I loved and how I imitated Nat Cole and Charles Brown. I had been stealing their licks and singing and playing like them for 7 years, maybe even longer. 2 days didn't go by without someone saying, "Ray, you sound exactly like Nat Cole," or "Ray, your voice is the spitting image of Charles Brown." At first, that delighted me. They were bad cats, those two, and I was proud to be confused with them. But after a while, these comments started getting to me. I thought it'd be nice if people began to recognize me, if they'd tell me I sounded like Ray Charles. So I started experimenting with a different voice. Strangely enough, that voice turned out to be mine. I did some tunes for Jack, "The Snow is Falling" and "Kiss-a-Me, Baby," which were about the first ones I'd ever tried without consciously trying to imitate anyone. These songs were the prototype of me. By 1951, I had ever so slowly edged away from what I had been doing for so long. I was trying to be accepted as me. Jack Lauderdale remained my friend all this time, although I never saw any royalty money for "Baby, Let Me Hold Your Hand." Can't blame Jack, though. I didn't know what I was doing, and as I mentioned before, business details didn't mean much to me. I was so thrilled to be recording that nothing else mattered. Besides, I found a sly way to get money from Jack. When he was gambling with other people around him, I came up and asked him for bread. I always made sure that it was done in public. Usually, he'd hand over 300 or 400. I'd gamble with maybe 30 or 40 and put the rest in my pocket. This happened every 6 months or so, and it was the best method, really the only method I had of getting paid. Even though I was still tight with Loretta, I also had several other girlfriends by this time. I especially remember Madeline, another girl I met through Jack and his girlfriend Betty. Then, like now, I was pouring all the energy I had into women and music. He's a leap. When I went out on the road again with Law in 1951, I decided to get my own transportation. I bought a used Rocket 98 Olds, a 1950 model, and this was the first car I had ever owned. Does that sound strange to you? A blind cat buying a car. Pause. It probably would sound strange without all that background, without us understanding fully what's happening, that this man has gotten behind a wheel of a car for years and has been navigated by the passenger for years. It would sound weird if we didn't know that. But the fact that we know that there's always somebody in the passenger seat telling him right, left, up, down. Okay, you're going to have to take a left turn, in a couple of feet. It doesn't sound weird. It sounds feasible. That's just like, I hate driving. Oh my God, driving is the worst in the world. If I had to get on the highway to get to my job, I couldn't do that job. That would not be my job. I comfortably work where I work because, number one, I'm always going against traffic. Even though it takes me like 20 to 30 minutes to get to work, I'm always going against traffic. And I never get on the highway. Okay? So that's why I'm comfortable going to work or driving to work. If I had to deal with traffic, if I had to get on that highway, bitch, I ain't doing it. I drive under my conditions. The only time I get on 85 is when I'm headed towards 95. Or is it 75? Whatever it is y'all have down here. I have before, but it's rare. I've been down here 7 years. I probably got on y'all's highway and not headed home probably 3. And notice I said it's y'all's highway. This ain't this 85 shit. I don't know you niggas. So with that being said, I know that some of you all are like, well, why do you even have a car if you don't want to drive it? Just like, why would he have a car if he's blind? I have a car because I don't want to wait on nobody to take me nowhere. And then I know you're like, well, Nay, why you drive a Mercedes? That mother hunch you about 8 years old now, maybe 7, maybe 6. I don't know. When I do get in the car, I want to drive the car that I want to drive. Okay? And when I'm ready to go, God damn it, I'm ready to go. And I ain't got time to be waiting on nobody to take me. Sometimes people buy cars just so they can feel independent. I'm not a driver by any ways or description. I don't like to drive. I hate driving, everything about it. But I have to have my own car so I don't have to wait on a nigga. Not even the bus. Okay? Get it? Does that sound strange to you, a blind cat buying a car? Well, to me, it made a lot of sense. I found a guy, Al Curry, who drove for me, and having these wheels really made my life easier. Meant I could be more independent. The word, independent. All I needed to know was the location of the gig, and I'd be there on time. Afterwards, I was able to go off and do what I wanted. This way, I called the shots. On the Jesus. You ain't got to wait for nobody, not even a bus. Bitch, I ain't afraid of the bus, because I get on that MARTA, man. What do y'all call it down here? MARTA? I get on that MARTA. No. I don't think, does Cobb have MARTA? Or is it like the Cobb link or something? I get on that Cobb link, whatever y'all call it. Now, I don't know about the WMATA. I don't know about that. That's back home because things happen differently at WMATA now. I'm not there. When we played Atlanta, I got to run home and visit all the folks in Greensville. It was about 300 miles away. And in those days, especially with my own car, that was nothing. I was always anxious to see what was happening back in Florida. Plus, back on my old stomping grounds, I could usually find some pure tongue. That's the word us country boys use for vagina. Right around in here, I also decided to get married. Now, I know that sounds sudden, but believe me, that's how it happened. I've always been one to do something on the spur of the moment. Eileen was a beautician in Columbus, Ohio in those years. I met her through my friend, Billy Brooks, who had just started playing trumpet with Lowell. Billy came from Cincinnati, and back then he was going with a chick named T, who came from Columbus. Well, Billy married T, and that got me to thinking, why not me? Pause, in the draws. I ain't been to a wedding yet. That made me be like, oh, I want to walk down that aisle. I want to catch the bouquet. Baby, every wedding I've been to where they threw the bouquet, a bitch was somewhere over there, baby. Over there. Okay? Or I'd be like, oh, this is my part. I got to go, baby. I got to go. I'd be like the groomsmen. Like, I don't want that. Don't let that shit touch me. Well, Billy married T, and that got me to thinking, why not me? Billy and I, timing. Didn't I tell you it would be about timing? Not about love. It's timing. Why not me? Billy and I were running together a lot, and it seemed like a good idea. Besides, Eileen was really a lovely chick, and we had a very smooth relationship. So when the band went to Atlanta, Eileen came along, and she made me very happy. I always liked the idea of having a wife and a family, and this seemed like the right moment for the thing to get started. It wasn't.
Oh,